درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء يا هلا 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 حن قلبي على جمعة الخير هلا حن قلبي على جمعة الخير هلا يا هلا ويا هلا ويا هلا ويا هلا يا هلا ويا هلا ويا
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. It's a Wednesday morning and wonderful to be in your company. I do hope you're going to stay with us right up until 10 o'clock. And we have three most amazing women in studio with us. The first one has written a book, well, her second book. She's here to talk about it and also is going to talk to us about the Josie Books and Blogs Festival that takes place this Sunday in Lenasia. It's a must-attend affair, so I hear from everybody. We'll be talking to another amazing lady. She has started a business by turning trash into jewelry. Now, how innovative is that? Amazing, isn't it? And last but not least, we're going to end the note on a motivational note. We're going to talk to a motivational speaker, another amazing lady. Her name is Pandora, and I can't wait to get chatting to each and every one of these women. The first one is Rashida Khan. She's written a book called Mirror Cracked, but before that, she has put out an anthology of poetry. Happy birthday, Rashi. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum assalam. It's lovely to be here. I feel like you've been visiting me in my home all the time because I watch you on TV all the time.
Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that you feel so very comfortable in my presence, but I must say that you are an easy person to talk to. The type of people that we love having on our show, which means obviously that we don't have to do too much hard work.
Oh, good. Call me back.
Absolutely, with the greatest of pleasure. We're here to talk about two books, the poetry, the anthology, obviously, Happy Birthday Rashi, and Mirror Cracked. Let's start with the poetry, and also let's ask, who is Rashida? When did she know that she had a writer inside of her wanting to break out and tell stories to the world?
Well, actually, I've been saying I wanted to write all my life. From the time I'm a kid, you know, I loved books and I loved reading, and I said I wanted to write. Of course, I never did anything about that until a few years back. And so I started writing fiction and I started writing novels. And along the way, I sort of stumbled across poetry. I mean, I've loved poetry. Poetry, I think, was my first love. I've had a relationship with poets for a very, very long time. The classical ones and, you know, some of the more non-traditional ones as well. And then I was doing a writing course about a year or two ago, and it was suggested to write poetry because it helps you to hone your craft. And I discovered I enjoyed it, and people who read my poetry said, you know, you have to put this out. And so actually, even though I was writing novels or fiction for longer, the poetry came out first.
Okay, let me also share the good news with our viewers, and that is, inshallah, if you call in on the open line, you'll walk away with one of Rashida's books. It's the latest book. It was launched last week. This woman has been so busy. I wonder where she finds the time to do all of the stuff in her life. She's also a mother of two young adults. And alhamdulillah, she goes on Hajj next Thursday. So can you see when I say busy woman, superwoman, multitasking? Okay, she's giving away one of her books, Mirror Cracked, the one that was launched last week, and she'll also be talking about it at the Josie Books and Blogs Fair this Sunday in Lenasia. So if you call in and perhaps answer a question, you're not going to be talking to me, but you will be talking to my producer. You will be walking away with one of these books. Now, you talked books, you talk poetry, and of course you've now realized that you have what it takes to do both book writing and poetry. Are we going to see more books on poetry following sometime soon? And is there perhaps a third book in the pipeline?
There's definitely a couple of books in the pipeline. I don't know if there's going to be any poetry. Poetry is something that that just happens and comes to me occasionally. It's not like a focused project that I'm working on like with my novels. So apart from Mirror Cracked, I don't know if this is the right way to show it.
Yes,
So apart from Mirror
exactly.
Cracked, there's a sequel to this book. It's called Fragrance of Forgiveness. I'm hoping that'll come out before the end of the year. And thereafter, early in the new year, there's my new novel going to come out as well, which I've just started writing. In fact, first draft has been done. But normally my books go through at least 7-8 edits, so it's a process. But Fragrance of Forgiveness, hopefully before the end of the year. I'm not sure yet about poetry. We'll see how that comes to me or whether or not it comes to me.
Are you self-published?
I am self-published, and it's a route that I didn't take by choice, but I had no choice because I wasn't able to be published by the traditional publishers. I had submitted to quite a few, and then eventually I realized, I got great feedback from the publishers, I must say. Most of them came back and gave me feedback as to why they're not doing it, why they're not going to be doing my book specifically. Primarily, it's because of budgets, Primarily, it's that each editor or publisher within the publishing house has certain budgets, and they just couldn't do the book at this time. But they also gave me feedback as to how I could change it to make it more marketable, which was great, and I incorporated that into the subsequent versions of the story. And then I went the self-publishing route, which so far, alhamdulillah, has worked out very well for me. And my next book as well.
It is an expensive undertaking.
It is an expensive undertaking. You carry everything. You carry all the costs, and unfortunately, you don't get the support of the marketing. So these kinds of shows help a lot, because at least you're getting a little bit of publicity and getting your name out there. Because otherwise, you've written a great book, or you've just written a book. I'm not saying my book is great, but you've written a book and nobody knows about it. Otherwise, who's going to buy it?
Now, tell me, authors, people like yourself,
yes.
Do you publish books for the love of what you've poured into the book, blood, sweat and tears, and love, of course, hoping that it's going to also enable you to put food on the table? Or is it both?
Well, at this moment, writing is not making me any money. That's fine. I've worked all my life, all my working career I've worked. And I've stopped working now about 1.5 years. And every month I pay myself from my savings so that I can fund this writing that I want to do. It's a passion, and it's something that I have to do. My books are not easy books. My books are very challenging to write, and I'm sure also to read, because they sometimes can be quite sad. They deal with real tough questions and real tough life issues. But these are the books that are called to me, and these are the books that I must write. So I do it because I love it, and it's a passion, and I'm lucky that I have this opportunity in my life now to do this. I feel so blessed that this point in my life, everything's come together, and alhamdulillah, I'm able to do this now.
Alhamdulillah for that. Let's look at your book, Mirror Cracked.
Yes.
What's the core roots of the story, the basis, the foundation, call it what you will.
Yes.
Let's look at some of the characters, one or two of the characters,
yes.
just to tease our viewers, and hopefully they'll go out and support you in a big way by buying the book and reading the book.
Yes.
And how relevant is it to our community, the Indian Muslim community, or the Muslim community in South Africa?
Well, absolutely. The book is completely set in the Muslim community. It's set in Cape Town. That's where this particular book is being set. It's set in Cape Town. It's a family story. It's really a story that I think we will all be able to relate to and understand. It's a sad story because it's about the breakdown of a marriage because of infidelity. And it's the journey that the three protagonists go through. The husband is Farid, the wife is Azra, and how their relationship unfolds when a third party comes into the picture. And there's other twists and turns. People who've read the book so far say they can't put it down because it keeps you on edge. There's always something happening. There's always something interesting and developing, and you want to know what's happening next. The other thing that people say is that you really, it brings our culture and family life to reality, So there's lots of traditions and cultures and words that we speak that we would understand as Muslim people that are very much part of the book. And while it is set in the Muslim community, I think it can be targeted in much broader levels. So everybody would be able to understand. Much as it is set in the Muslim community and in a Muslim family, I think it has wider appeal.
How would this appeal to a non-Muslim or the non-Indian community in South Africa? I'm thinking in terms of the characters, in terms of the nuances of our community that comes through in the book.
Yes.
Would they be able, not necessarily relate, but get a better understanding of us as a community?
Well, definitely I think they're going to be able to relate, because the issues and the challenges that each of these characters go through is what everybody goes through. It's
life
quite universal.
Experiences.
It's life experience, it's universal, you know. It's about love, it's about betrayal, it's about forgiveness, it's about motherly love, you know, because everything that happens to us as Muslims, I think, happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. Maybe our context is slightly different. Maybe we relate to it, we understand it slightly differently. But I think it is very, very relatable. I also think it will give a great insight into, you know, just the normalcy of life. You know, it's just everyday life. You know, somebody read the book and says, "Oh, you've captured the boredom or just, you know, the regular things of
right.
marriage very, very well." But at the same time, you made the characters very real, and I was supporting each of them, you know, in turn. Each of these characters were real to me, and I really felt for each of them, and I wanted each of them to get what they wanted. Of course, it can't happen because each of them wants what, you know, contrary to what the other person does. So.
Okay, let's go for our first ad break. We'll be coming back and talking some more about your book, Mirror Cracked. I want to also explore the title of the book, very catchy indeed, but all of that after the ad break. Rashida Khan, the authoress, is in studio with me this morning talking about her book, Mirror Cracked. She's also written poetry contained in an anthology of poetry called Happy Birthday, Rashi. Obviously, it's all about her birthday and the people that she's written, you know, the poems about in this particular book. But we will be unpacking all of that and lots more right after the ad break. And don't forget, if you call in, you can walk away with a book called Mirror Cracked by the author in studio, Rashida Khan.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
Khidmatul Awam, South Africa's most trusted and leading Hajj operator, offering the best, most affordable and suitable Hajj packages to suit all your Hajj requirements. With full reduced prices, step-by-step Hajj guidance, frontline and 5-star hotels in Medina, Makkah and a unique building in Azizia. We have a full team of committed Khadims and Ulama. Khidmatul Awam will make your Hajj a spiritual experience. You also have the option of adding a couple's room in Azizia or our Aqsa add-on to your package. Come into any one of our 3 regional branches or contact us nationally on 010 600 5786. Travel with an operator that cares.
Everything in life evolves, and so should your fitment center. Evolution Wheel and Tire Fitment Center offers you great reliable service at affordable prices. Get more tire deals, get more for your vehicle. Evolution Wheel and Tire, a new dimension in fitment. Call us now on 011 499 0072 or 3. The Syrian Palace Restaurant and Cafe. Bring the Syrian taste to your palate with a wide variety of mouth-watering Mediterranean dishes that is sure to leave you craving for more. Find something for everybody in our restaurant and cafe and be impressed by the food and our service and friendly staff as well. Visit us today at 28 Mint Road, Fordsburg. Contact 011 025 8167. The Syrian Palace, the pride of Oriental taste, ready to meet all parties and occasions.
Love is behind all the greatest stories of our lives. And the greatest love of all is Allah's. The first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the days most loved by Allah. So give Qurbani in 30 countries worldwide. Give Qurbani. Give love. with Islamic Relief.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
Welcome back. We're talking to the authoress of the book called Mirror Cracked. And if you go to the Josie Books and Blogs Festival this Sunday in Lenasia, you will be sure to meet her. And if you haven't called in yet, then do so, please, because you can walk away with one of these books. And if the book has already been given away, then go to the fair, meet the authoress and a whole host of other authors at the fair, and get yourselves a couple of books in the process. Let's support local talent to obviously inspire them to further do their craft, and let's truly keep all of that wonderful talent in our community. Rashida, back to you. Mirror Cracked. Very interesting title. You know, when I saw it, I wondered, why didn't you call it
The Cracked Mirror?
The Cracked Mirror. But you've kind of turned it around. Why? But I must say it's a very catchy title.
Well, I hope so. You know, it was a long process, actually. The titling of the book went through quite a long process, and there was quite a bit of brainstorming, and I had a whole lot of other options, and then eventually this one seemed right to me. In terms of just swapping it around, it was just playing with words, you know, and I love playing with words. Words are my passion. I try and learn a new one every day. Not that I ever include them in my stories, because you've got to make sure your readers are able to understand. But I try and learn a new word every day, and words are my passion, so I like to play with them. So that's why the poetry also works the way it does. And the motivation behind it, for obvious reasons, you know, just in terms of one of the big themes of the book is identity. And when Azra, who's the main character, or one of the main characters in the book, suddenly has her whole world turned upside down, she questions everything. And most importantly, she questions who she is and her own identity. So how she looks at herself is suddenly shattered. So that's the one, you know, the one angle of it. And also, it's also just about the future, you know, looking forward, looking ahead, and suddenly whatever you thought you saw, or the horizon that you thought, is suddenly all shattered. So there's a whole lot of different plays to it. Yeah, I hope people will respond to that. You know, the other thing that was interesting was that there was a similar title a long time ago for a book called The Cracked Mirror, but that was an Agatha Christie novel some time back. So, you know, it was safe enough for me to choose this one and hope that there wasn't any other similar titles.
Okay, now when we talk about book writing, obviously this is about a 300-page, it's a novel in the true sense of the word. A lot of research goes into a novel.
Yes.
You've got to get things almost or absolutely as accurately as you possibly can.
Yes.
You say the novel's been set in Cape Town.
Yes.
How much of research did you have to do? Because I'm sure there's a lot of background scenery,
Yes.
places of interest, street names, etc., that you
Yes.
refer to in the book.
Yes.
Did you have to physically go there? Luckily, you know, you are a South African, so it was probably easy to spend some time there. But I should imagine it's very time-consuming. And how important in a work of fiction is it for you to get all of those little details spot on?
It's actually very important. For me, it's very important because I want to make sure, although my story is fiction, I want to make sure it's as honest as possible. So yes, I do refer to street names, I do refer to areas, and I make sure that, you know, it's feasible. So you have to do all of your research, and thank God for Google. You know, Dr. Google knows almost everything. You can just ask Google, how long does it take to get from Rondebosch to here? So you can gauge that and make sure that you
Wow.
work. So there's little things like that. And then there are some made-up places, so there's some some made-up restaurants, and there's some real, places that exist in the book. And I think that helps to give it a very authentic feel. Personally, I love Cape Town. I visit there whenever I can. There's family there, so we do go down whenever we can. And now my son is there as well. He's at UCT, so I do get to go to Cape Town as often. So I do know it quite a bit, and I have friends and family there. But of course, the little details you have to understand. It's amazing, though. I will go into history because my books are set a year or two apart, and I'll look at actually the weather conditions on that particular day, because it's so important to make sure it's authentic for me as well. Maybe not the readers are not going to get those subtle details, but for me the story is authentic and true, and I think the readers will respond to the honesty and the sincerity that comes across in the writing. So there is a lot of research, and I also employ an editor to fact check for me, and also to make sure that the story is written correctly, that it's technically correct. So she'll come back and tell me, well, this is a made-up restaurant, so it doesn't need to be in italics. But this is a real store. It's Woolworths. It needs to be in italics because that's how the conventions are. So you need to be able to. It's your craft, it's your work, you've got to put everything into it.
You self-published, and obviously it comes at a cost to you.
Yes.
And you now tell me that you have an editor whom you've got to pay, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
To, just to make sure that you are on track. Mm-hmm. And you've given examples of that. What about writers that don't go that route, self-published writers? What can go wrong for them if they don't have an editor, number one? And number two totally different questions, but anyway. Mm-hmm. Number two, how does it... Do you kind of feel wounded or bruised at all when the book is given back to you, or the script is given back to you to possibly redo, to delete totally perhaps, mm-hmm. or just to be told that this is rubbish, you definitely cannot include this in mm-hmm. the book, and you know that you've poured your heart and soul into that chapter?
I'll answer that first. There's a fine line, you've got to be able to be very passionate about your work, which I am, without being precious about it. And apart from my editor, I've actually made sure that my story's been read by a few people whom I trust. And I say to them, you have to give me honest feedback. And I've always listened to feedback. And most of the time I've incorporated their suggestions. I mean, there's wonderful people who are readers who've given me feedback and said, this is why this is not working for me. And you need that, because you can't be subjective about you can't be objective about your own work.
Oh, absolutely.
So you do need that, and you do need to listen. And I found that my writing has only improved. It's only grown because I've listened to feedback, and, now my story flows much better. I was quite happy to have little side stories of other people, just to help get the whole context and the environment of the Muslim community in place. And a lot of people said, yes, that's great, but we just want to get to the main story now, so cut out a lot of the details, which I did. So I think it's a much more professional book at the moment. To go the self-publishing route, I think it's imperative. Often self-publishers won't go through an editor, but it's actually imperative that you do go through to somebody who's professional, whose job it is to actually look at your work and critically tell you. And I have a very good relationship with my editor, and every time I send her a version, I will say, I give her a very thorough brief of what I'm expecting. So I'm saying, look at this, make sure this is believable. Have I developed this story enough so that when this relationship happens between these two people, is it believable? So I ask her to be very critical, and I do a couple of versions. So my first version of the story is to just get the plot down, almost very clinically get the plot down. And then subsequent layers I will layer and add different things and different nuances, and make sure that the characters are developed, as well as the setting, as well as the context, and that everything flows beautifully. And you cannot do that alone. You have to get someone to assist you with that. Eventually, she would never rewrite. She might suggest to do this or do that, but eventually it's my work. I will say, okay, I agree with you on that, or I disagree with you on that. And she'll say, take this out, and I'll say, I understand why you want to, but I really like it. Can we please leave it in? So we have those kinds of conversations. And eventually I think it's worked out to be a great book.
How much of you and your loved ones are portrayed in the book? obviously under pseudonyms or different names or whatever have you, because stories are about our life experiences. So what we've been through, what we've seen, how bruised we've been through those experiences, and those are the best stories to tell. But of course, because it's a work of fiction, you need to make sure that you change names, places, etc. So how much of that is
so the story is completely fiction, the characters are completely fiction. Having said that, though, there's a little bit of me in each of my characters. I can't help that. Different parts of me in different things, and not that I've experienced anything that they've gone through.
And that's pretty natural, isn't it?
Absolutely. And as a writer, generally, I think we're very observant, and I'm a very observant person. Much as I'm gregarious as well, I'm also quite an observant person, and I think that has influenced my characters and my writing. So there's a little bit of people, or there's some incidents that have occurred which I've adapted to fit into the story, but that's also writer's license and completely understandable. But the characters are completely fictional, but like I say, each of them is, one of the characters has got my surname, and somebody even said, that's the bad guy of the story. Why are you giving him your, I says, well, he's a Khan. In my head, he's a Khan.
And Khan amongst the Muslims is as common as John amongst the British, so to speak.
Yes.
All right, I think it's time for our next ad break. Let's go for that. And when we come back, I'm going to ask you about, obviously, the type of feedback you got from those closest to you, your loved ones, your husband and your children, and also who your favorite authors are. Rashida Khan is my guest. She's the authoress of the book Mirror Cracked. She will be at the Josie Books and Blogs Fair or Festival this Sunday in Lenasia. Please be sure to go out there. It is the event of Johannesburg, the event of the year on the Johannesburg calendar. So make your way over there. You're going to meet the most amazing authors, authoresses, and also just a whole host of other people. Lots of fun stuff for the kids to do as well. So please, please, please make your way there. It is the place to be this weekend. Don't forget, when we come back later, we're going to be talking to Pandora. She's a motivational speaker, and we're also going to talk to the lovely Midi. She has turned scrap into wearable and saleable jewelry. So stay with us.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
Home for 104 orphans, Beitul Halima Orphanage will provide love, care and safety. Earn Sadaqatul Jariyah by sponsoring a brick for 20 Rand, square meter 6,000 Rand.
Or one villa for your beloved one for 380,000 Rand. For further information, contact our office on 011 026 0009 or on 083 653 5669. Or you can email us at bhorphanage@webmail.co.za.
Are you planning a honeymoon or a family holiday? Then call Show Miraj Travel and inquire about their Superland only packages. 5 nights in Mumbai, stopover from 2,990 per person sharing. 5 nights Golden Triangle from 2,999 per person sharing. 3 nights in Cairo from 2,750 rands per person sharing. 6 nights Cairo plus Nile cruise from 8,950 rand per person sharing. Call Durban 031 208 4222 www.mirajtravel.co.za. Show Miraj Travel. You deserve the best.
Pop, squeeze and enjoy. HQ Foods, the Cape's finest quality sauces made with love. For that perfect match between quality and perfection, call us now on 021 797 0414. HQ Foods, from our kitchen to yours.
Keep yourself and the kids happy this winter, because we at International Brands Outlet have got you covered. With the dopest brands from Polo to Converse sneakers and a whole lot in between to keep you covered winter and summer, IBO will ease you into the office all the weekend in style, with a range of products to keep the kids, mom and dad happy. Afford your true self with International Brands Outlet. IBO, affordable quality and style.
For over 78 years, Masons have capitalized on good old-fashioned family values and service. Today they have 3 branches in Benoni, Bethlehem and Balfour. Major appliance suppliers have their own individual showroom to display their own product range. Masons offer the best deals on top brands from electronics to built-in kitchen appliances and furniture, as well as nationwide delivery to your door.
Khidmatul Awam, South Africa's most trusted and leading Hajj operator, offering the best, most affordable and suitable Hajj packages to suit all your Hajj requirements. With full reduced prices, step-by-step Hajj guidance, frontline and 5-star hotels in Medina, Makkah and a unique building in Azizia. We have a full team of committed Khadims and Ulama. Khidmatul Awam will make your Hajj a spiritual experience. You also have the option of adding a couple's room in Azizia or our Aqsa add-on to your package. Come into any one of our 3 regional branches or contact us nationally on 010 600 5786. Travel with an operator that cares.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back, and we're into the final segment of the interview with authoress, the lovely Rashida Khan, and we've just been told that someone has called in and has made claim to our giveaway. The book, of course, is called Mirror Cracked, and our winner is none other than Maimuna Chauhan from Azadville. Thank you for watching, and thank you for calling in for the book. We do hope that you're going to enjoy the read.
Can I just say that I know Maimuna?
Oh, wow.
She's a co-contributor to Saffron, so I think it's great that she's won it. Maimuna, you owe me a review now, please. That's the very least you can do.
There you go. Okay. With about 6 minutes to wrap up time, your favorite authors, the best book you've written and the impact it's had on you?
Oh my God, that's a very difficult question to ask. My favorite authors, there's many. I read across genres, so I have a wide variety of different authors. Recently, though, I've been focusing on South African literature. I think it's a wonderful space to be in. There's a whole host of wonderful South African writers, and that's why, you know, affairs like Josie's Books and Blogs are so important, because it gives us exposure. And I think it's very important to support local authors, and that's the other way that we need to encourage reading, you know, because that's one of our failings, I feel, as a nation, that we're not a nation of readers, or not yet a nation of huge readers. So hopefully that's something we can do as local authors. I probably would say Arundhati Roy, The God of Small Things was you know, had one of the biggest impacts on my life, because when I read that book, apart from the beautiful story, I was just like so amazed at how beautifully written it was, you know, the way she used language. And or somebody like Anita Desai, it seems like I prefer female authors and female Indian authors. You know, I remember reading a sentence once in a book of Anita Desai, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, if I could write a sentence like that, you know, it'll be like so amazing for me. So I think there's been a lot of writers that have had influence and impact on me. Most recently, I read a Nigerian author, Ayobami Adebayo, also wonderful writing. And, you know, I'm never going to have a favorite author, because every book and every writer brings different things to me, or I see different things to it in each of their stories. So I can't really pin one down specifically. Yeah, and over the years, my tastes have changed as well and matured, obviously.
After people have read your book, Mirror Cracked, and I'm presuming that males and females should be reading the book.
Yeah.
What do you want? What's the type of feedback you want? What do you want to hear people saying to you, you know, as far as impact of the book is concerned?
Well, first of all, I want them to say they enjoyed it. But if they don't, that's also fine. I want them to be honest. And I don't know about impact. I just hope that in some way it helps them to understand our society, our community, or themselves a little bit better, maybe. Because I think that as the protagonists go through the trials and tribulations that they go through and question themselves, I'm hoping that it's a way for us to also question ourselves and our preconceived ideas, our preconceived notions about things. I think sometimes, and it sounds like a generalization, or a judgment, but it's more an observation. I think sometimes we can be quite set in our ways and quite pedantic about how we feel about things, and we just need to be more open to other ideas, other people, just so that we can live a fuller life, for our own selves. So I hope that it does open up and does ask some questions. I've already had some feedback. Generally, the feedback's been very favorable and good. I've had one reader say to me, some of it was a bit jarring. There's a straight lace kind of effect, and I said, what about exactly? Was it? And she said, no, it was the swearing and it was the sex. Now, there's a little bit of sex, and it's more alluded to. There's a little bit of sex because it's a family relationship. It's a story, and I don't think it's badly done. I think it's very tastefully done, but everybody. And I just said to myself, but okay, maybe it did jar you a little bit, but the truth of the matter is that Muslim people do swear and we do have sex, so it's going to come out. And if you're writing a story about people and it's a true story, those things are going to come out.
Would you want your sons to read the book?
Absolutely.
You have no problem with that?
No problem with that at all.
Have they given you any feedback? I have no doubt that they have. Your husband and sons have read the book.
My husband read the very first version of the book right at the outset, and he gave me good feedback. He said to me, it's a brave story, it's very courageous, and you have to do it. He also said to me that it was too sad. Lighten it up. So I did that. I did lighten it up. Well, that would have happened anyway, I think, over the course of it, because as I brought in more layers, it wouldn't have only been the actual plot, which was, moving from trial to trial. So that did happen. And I did speak to my family because I realized that this book would probably be considered controversial. And I said to my boys, I said, is this going to be okay for you? And they were absolutely fine. No, Mom, if this is the book, you must write. And we have no issues with it. And they know the story. They haven't read the final book yet. They've read parts of it and scenes of it. My sons
Finally,
are cool. Yes.
We've come to wrap up time.
Yes.
Your advice to young aspiring writers?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Don't just talk about it. Listen to feedback. Be disciplined. Set yourself targets, because otherwise, you can kill a day. You can say you're going to be writing this, you're going to be writing that, and you can never get round to it. So be disciplined, be focused, and yes, listen to feedback. Feedback is good. You grow from it.
And that's where we leave it. Look forward to seeing you at the festival
Inshallah,
in
we'll see you
Lenasia
on
Sunday. Rashida Khan talking about her book Mirror Cracked, and once again a reminder that the Josie Books and Blogs Festival happening this Sunday. Please make sure that you pack up your family and go and have a day of fun, and also just supporting all of our aspiring writers right here in South Africa.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء. We are the Muslim Ummah, and each day that goes by the harder we try. In gratitude we pray to Allah, chosen as part of the best of mankind. We spread the word of Islam, spread the word, spread the word.
Tyres and More Rosettenville has these amazing tyre deals for you. More tyre deals, more for your vehicle, only at Tyres and More, while stocks last.
Spa Serene and Nadia's Thai Massage offers both young and old treatments, ranging from facials to help with marks and blemishes or just to keep your skin healthy, and a full range of face and beauty products. Natural and holistic Thai massages to help alleviate muscle pain or slight sports injuries, as well as an in-house henna artist. Our facilities include a sauna, shower facilities and a couples massage room. We have on-site parking and on-site security.
Nasima Khan Properties, established in 2007, offers excellent sales in the Sandton area to clients looking for an investment as well as a new home. So whether you're selling, buying or renting, look no further than Nasima Khan Properties. We find you a tenant and manage your investment. Contact Nasima at the Michelangelo or visit www.nasimaproperty.co.za. Nasima Khan Properties, where we make business extraordinary. If you think you have what it takes to be an estate agent, contact Shazia on 084 635 7684.
Sims Gas is a recognized distributor of petroleum products in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. Established in 1974, we offer the sale of and reliable filling, handling and distribution of gas cylinders and related products for commercial and residential use. We also offer diesel sales at selected branches. We're green conscious and maintain high safety and environmental standards across our business. We deliver to your home within 24 to 48 hours. Go to www.simsgas.co.za or call 0861 Sims Gas. Call now.
The death rate in the Eastern Cape of South Africa is 11.9 to every 100,000 children. The Eastern Cape province remains the poorest province with the highest levels of unemployment. Join our drive against malnutrition and death due to starvation. Support our certified empowerment programs designed to free individuals from poverty. Support the Al-Fida Foundation at www.alfida.co.za or contact us at 041 484 1288. The Al-Fida Foundation. Close to home, close to heart.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
Welcome back. My second amazing lady is Midi Mazenge, and this woman recycles old trash or trash into very purposeful items that we use in everyday life. So the stuff that you and I throw out, she goes and collects it and she repurposes the stuff and she creates it into the most amazing and beautiful jewelry and bags, and she sells this. But of course there's a story behind why this happened. Midi found that, well, she was jobless and she needed to put food on the table. Let's get the story right directly from the lady herself. Midi, good morning, welcome to the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Lovely to have you here, and I must say, I made a comment off air and I say it again. You definitely have a sense of style about you. You're beautifully dressed, and you also told me something special about the dress you're wearing.
Yes.
What is it?
This dress, it was my late grandmother's dress.
Wow.
So after she passed on, I collected all her clothing because I can see that she was stylish and I loved them. So most of my clothes are from her.
You've restyled the dress?
Yes.
Wow, okay, so you're truly a very creative person. Now, Midi, tell us about yourself. What happened that brought you to this point where you are now repurposing old trash into beautiful pieces of jewelry?
Okay. My name is Midi Mazenge. I'm originally from the Eastern Cape in a small town called Stekspruit, but I'm now based in Kenilworth, which is in the south of Johannesburg.
Okay.
I was working for Phumelela Gaming and Leisure from 2010 up until last year, and I was retrenched. So I decided to start my own thing.
How did the idea come to, and I mean, you must have been sitting, worrying, I don't have a job, how am I going to support myself? What made you think or decide that if I collect trash, and you can tell us exactly what it is that you collect, I can turn this into something that I can sell and be able to support myself from
I
selling?
actually started collecting in 2015 while I was still working, because I believed in that saying that says, every man's trash is another man's treasure.
Wow.
So, and I found it very exciting to collect trash and turn it into something different.
Now, when you talk about collecting trash, give us a sense of how you go out and collect it. I'm also thinking some of the stuff is probably mixed up with a lot of other dirt and rubbish and, you know, rotten food, for example. I'm not quite sure if you go to bins, where do you go to where, you know, you're not exposed to too much filth and the stuff that you collect can be cleaned and put to better use?
Yes, I used to go to dustbins on Thursdays in my area, but for a few months, then my friends and family decided to collect them for me. Like when they buy a box of maheu, they won't throw the cartoon, they will keep it for me. So I will just go to their houses and collect them from.
So show us that carton, and those are the boxes that they collect after they've used the stuff. They rinse out the containers
and keep it
and they pass it. So what exactly do you do with that?
This one, I make earrings with it.
Wow.
I
Okay.
cut them. Let me show you quickly. I just cut this.
Now, back in 2015, you started collecting trash.
Yes.
Was that for the same purpose, to make jewelry, or why did you decide in 2015, whilst you still had a job, that you want to still go out and collect trash?
I think I always loved art. So I wanted something unique, something different from the others.
Okay, and
Yes.
that's why you collect trash?
Yes.
So in 2015 too, you were turning the trash into art or into jewelry?
Into jewelry.
Back then, way back
then.
in 2015?
Yes, it was strictly jewelry.
Okay.
Mostly earrings and, yeah.
Did you take up a course in art, in graphic art or design or anything?
No.
You're a natural?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And at that time, way back in 2015, were you selling the jewelry or were you just gifting it to friends and family?
No, it was just for me, and then they started complimenting, and then I'll just make them, and they will tag me with whatever they
Okay,
have.
talk us through what you're doing right now.
Now I just cut the box, and I'm putting
What did
glue.
you cut out from the box? What was attractive about the box that you cut out?
It's this pot.
The pot, okay, with the number one
that
on it.
represents Maheu.
Okay.
Yes. Then you put glue, and then you put, I collect this also.
What is that?
It's a leather.
Okay.
Then you put it here, like this.
Where do you collect the leather from?
I have a guy who makes shoes in town,
Mhm.
Joburg CBD. So he keeps it for me.
Does he charge you for the offcuts?
No.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. I just thank him with whatever I have.
Okay, so you kind of give him a present, a little present?
Yeah, just to say thank you.
Okay.
Then I cut this to make it into a nice
So
shape.
you lost your job last year and you
Yes.
decided to turn your passion into a business.
Yes.
Where and how do you now sell your stuff? Because, I mean, family can support you only up to a point. They can only buy X amount of jewelry and not any more.
I do pop-up markets where I'll display my stuff.
Right.
And then invite people to come and see what I do. They sometimes buy, sometimes they don't, but it's better than sitting at home and do nothing.
Of course, of course.
And
Just
then
talk
here
us through
I
what you're...
have-
Yes, what are you doing?
This is a hook for the
Right.
earring.
And you obviously have to buy those.
Yes, I buy the hooks and the glue.
Okay.
And if I make beaded earrings, I buy the beads.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how much would you sell that a pair of earrings for?
This one is 30 Rand.
Only 30 Rand.
Yes.
And made proudly South African right here in South Africa.
Yes.
This obviously looks like a market which would be very, very attractive to tourists. Have you decided to perhaps target that market, maybe approach the South African Tourism Board, see if you can get a stall or something, in the touristy areas so that you can sell this? I mean, it's homemade, it's absolutely unique. Nobody else is selling and doing what you're doing.
Yes, I have tried the...
Please show that up to the camera. There you go. Perfect. All right.
I've tried the Maboneng precinct.
Right.
But it's always full.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the guy that I was talking to. He will come back to me towards the end of October about a stall.
A permanent stall at Maboneng precinct.
Yes.
What else do you do? Perhaps you want to quickly finish the other earring and we can give it away on the show this morning for people watching us. Do you mind?
No, I don't.
Okay, so compliments, Midi, we can give away handmade right here on the show. on Let's Talk, we will give you this pair of earrings, and you can talk about this earrings. It's definitely a conversation piece, because you can show it off to your friends and family and tell them that you saw this being made on the show on Let's Talk. And this lady collects old trash and she turns it into jewelry, and ends up making young women look really glad. What, apart from the earrings that you do, I see as you turning out that second earring for us, you've got some beads around your wrist.
I also make them.
And this is the beads you buy, obviously.
Yes, yes.
So with beads, it's just about stringing it together, I should imagine.
It's very easy.
Very easy. Okay, let's get that earring done, and then you're going to show me what else you have in your box of tricks there.
A magic box.
Your magic box, is that what you call it?
Yes.
So for now, you're doing earrings and necklaces.
Necklaces, bracelets, and handbags.
Okay.
Yes.
You have brought a handbag to show us. You'll talk to us about the other different designs that you're churning out as well. Have you thought of going into the kiddies market at all? Doing, designing and creating stuff for children?
I have one lady who approached me after seeing my article on the Southern Courier last week. So she came to me, and I have an appointment with her on Saturday morning.
To see what you can
She's
turn out
running
for children.
a preschool, so she
Okay.
wants me to be part of that. And
all right, fine. So if anyone calls us in the next few minutes, you can get this lovely homemade pair of earrings. It's been made from a piece of cardboard stuck onto a piece of leather, and Midi has just turned out a beautiful pair of earrings for us. When we get back from the ad break, she's going to show us the bags that she turns out. I've just been told that we've come to the end of the interview. Very quickly, Midi, we'll do that in a minute or two. Do you want to show the bag up to the camera for us?
Yes, this is handmade.
Okay, what is that made from?
It's
a shopping bag.
The old shopping bag.
Right.
We call it Makoduka bag.
Right.
Then I buy Napoleon.
Yes.
That they use to cover couches.
Right.
I buy it for the interior.
Okay.
And then wool.
Up to the camera, please. What would a bag like that cost?
This is only 120.
Only 120, and great for gifts, and great to give out when you obviously want to just, like I say, gifts or, lovely promotional items as well. We're closing off the interview. What do you want to say to our viewers this morning? Should they invite you to share to fairs, and whenever they're having an event, you'd love to have a table there?
Yes, they might. Please, I'd love to. And they can call me anytime. My number is 073 034 1344. And I'm also on Facebook.
All right. And okay, brilliant. Midi Mazenge.
Yes.
On Facebook.
Yes.
Right. We hope that you're going to go to the Lenasia Books and Blogs Festival this weekend. Perhaps you should go there and go and show off everything that you have. Thank you for being with us, and we admire you. You were jobless. You've decided to do something positive out of your situation. You're collecting scrap and you're turning it into amazing jewelry. Thank you for being with us. Lots of luck, lots of success.
Thank you.
And you wouldn't mind going to partnerships with people as well?
No, I wouldn't.
There
I'd
you
love
go.
That.
Okay, wonderful. That was Midi Mazinga talking about how she's turned a bad situation into something truly positive. If you call in, you can claim your prize, a pair of handmade earrings, compliments of Midi Mazenge. And of course, she sells all sorts of handmade jewelry, bags, and other stuff. If you want to collaborate with her, if you want to create a partnership, please give her a tinkle. And she's ready, willing, and hopefully wanting to go into partnerships, and she's ready to talk to you. Still to come on the show, we're going to talk motivation with the lovely Pandora. Stay with us.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان
Life's most persistent, urgent question is, what are you doing for others? A man's true wealth is the good he does in this world. The Mustadafin Foundation feeds 15,000 people a day with your donations to reduce the amount of children who go to bed hungry. How can you help? By sponsoring a pot of food at 2,800 rands or sponsor a parcel at 400 rands. The Mustadafin Foundation. If every man helps his neighbor, then who will need help?
Stashi Distributors, your favorite packaging, baking and storage solution store situated in the heart of Fordsburg, Johannesburg. Visit our concept store and experience our extensive range of exceptional quality products, impeccable customer service and business with integrity policy that is sure to bring you back again and again. We do deliveries. Stashi Distributors, 6 Clare Road, Fordsburg. Call us on 011 492 0033.
For luxury bathrooms and tiles.
Be connected to Muslims all around you. United Ummah is the app that allows you to request for help as well as volunteer your services to assist those around you. Ask for help, look for jobs or services, or offer jobs and help those around you. Register now by downloading our app. From paid services to free services, this app has it all. Download it now and be part of the United Ummah.
An-Noor Islamic Center plans to undertake a project which includes building a girls' Darul Uloom. This will further develop our deen in this forgotten area. Be part of the preservation of the Book of Allah by sponsoring this project. Contact An-Noor Islamic Center today on 061 6670 621.
Professional Schoolwear, manufacturers and suppliers of high-quality schoolwear. We supply to wholesalers, retailers and schools throughout Southern Africa with a wide range of schoolwear available from tracksuits, school jerseys, school socks and all you may need for your schoolwear needs. We have it all. Catch our back-to-school deals with knitted tracksuits starting from only 79 rands 99. We are situated at 48 Fountain Road in Fordsburg behind the Nat Bank. Call us on 011-838-0033 or email schoolwearwholesalers@gmail.com.
يا لا 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 يا مرحبا باللي جونا وهنونا يا مرحبا باللي جونا وهنونا بحضوركم نسعد يلي لفيتونا بحضوركم نسعد يلي لفيتونا يلي لفيتونا أحلى الفعاليات واروعها بتشوفون.
وكانت البئر عميقة and the well was deep. Why are we saying كانت and not كان? See, well is feminine, so it should be كان, but because بئر is feminine.
The purpose of this course and all our other courses that have to do with the Arabic language is we want others to taste the flavor in the Quran Kareem.
Yusra Tours limited time offer Baghdad and Istanbul tour with Maulana Musa Raza from Pretoria. Depart 14th December, return 26th December. Visiting Baghdad, Karbala, Najaf, Kaziman and Istanbul. Over 20 ziyarat places to be visited. For only 28,000 rands, 499 rands per person sharing a double room. Contact us in Pretoria, Johannesburg, Lenasia, Durban and Cape Town or visit www.yusratours.co.za.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان
Welcome back to the final segment of the show this morning, and as I promised, amazing ladies on the show, and to round off we have Pandora Mabai from Pandora's Box. Another catchy name for a very, very catchy business. Morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Julie. It feels good to be here.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
Love the name of your business, Pandora's Box. You are a motivational speaker. I should imagine a very competitive space to be in, and the importance of motivational speakers in this day and age and in the corporate world. How did you get started? And do you still believe going forward in the next couple of years, 5 years hence, that motivational speakers are going to be playing a huge role in the corporate space, given that technology is at the cutting edge?
I believe that motivational speaking is very important currently for our society and for corporate, because at the end of the day, people need to have the driving force, your why in what you're doing, anything, whether you're a CEO of a company, whether you're an executive, whether you're a cleaner, whether you're a tea lady, in anything that you do within the corporate space, you need to understand, why am I doing this and why am I here? So they are constantly need to be motivated that in anything that you are doing, you are there to render a service and you are there to serve others. And you are asking how I started. My mess has been turned into a message to motivate and inspire and encourage women and people in general.
So what's your background? What did you study, and why did you decide to take this path in life opposed to so many other perhaps opportunities that may have come your way?
I am a marketing IMM graduate. I have been in the corporate space working with the L'Oreal International. And for me, while I was there, I had already started doing motivational speaking. And for me, what was important is about what impact am I doing in people's lives? How am I transforming? The country is currently speaking of radical transformation. What role am I playing within South Africa as an individual to come and impact and bring transformation? And with me, it's in the power of the voice that captures the audience when I speak, where people shake off mediocrity and people are able to be purpose-driven and self-discovery on who you really are and what you are born to do. So for me, when I saw that I am actually making a difference in this way, and it is my first love. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I decided, let me go into this full time, because I could see the difference that it is making within society and obviously globally, as I get invited out of South Africa as well to go and speak.
It is said that obviously motivation comes from within.
Yes.
And I should imagine people like you, your role would be to, if I feel very deflated and purposeless and trying to find the meaning of my existence, of life, and what role I should be playing in society. It really is within my very soul and my being to motivate myself, but I'd need someone like you to tap into those reserves. So how do you do that? How do you come to a person like me? I've just sketched where I'm at right now. What do you do to make me almost come alive again?
To give you an example to answer that question, a lot of people are defined by what people think we should be. So when you are working and you find that this person is actually not delivering, but have you actually looked at the strengths of that person? Because in order for you to discover purpose, you might not understand how, but I always go in to see, what are you passionate about? What is it that you would wake up and do without thinking twice and feeling as if it's a job? Do I really have to go and do this? Because once you discover your passion will lead you to your purpose. So you need to understand, what is the strength of an individual? What do you see in this individual? What are they great at in doing? And in that way, that is where people are able to discover, what is it that I can do every day and wake up and be fulfilled? because you need to be fulfilled in what you are doing.
Sadly, a lot of us are stuck in dead-end jobs. There are not enough jobs to go around, and we obviously need to be gainfully employed. You know, we want all the nice things that everybody else has. We all have dreams, obviously. You know, you want a home, you want a car, you want a family, you want the designer clothes, etc. Yes. And to achieve all of that, to get your, wants met, you need to go out and work. But not all of us are fortunate enough to be in a dream job. So obviously I may be in a job which I'm not passionate about, but I'm there because I need to take home a paycheck at the end of the month. How do we motivate people like that?
You see, I like that because I've been in that situation whereby I was compromising my true being and who I really am, where I had the mansion, I had the cars, and I had everything that most people dream of. But one thing I discovered when I was on my own, that it does not close the void within, because I am still unhappy. Things will not complete you. They will never. You can have them, but are you content? Are you able to sleep at night? Are you able to say, I am fulfilled? Because you will achieve them. I've been there. And once you achieve them, you're like, what's next? What do I do next? So even when you are in a job where you are working, do not lose yourself and your true being. Always work with vision. I am here now, but where am I going with my life? What do I intend for my tomorrow? What impact and what legacy do I want to leave behind? Once you are able to put yourself and answer those questions to yourself, then you are able to say, okay, I am here to earn, but I'm going to give it the best of me. But while I am here, where am I going with my life? And how do I save enough or do whatever that I need to do? Going back to school if you have to go back to school. So self-empowerment starts with you, and it starts with your mind. Where do you see yourself? You can only achieve the vision as far as you see where you are going.
And obviously, if you are in a dead-end job, a job that you're doing just because you need to take home a paycheck, what I'm hearing you say is try and be the best in that job, even though you're not passionate about it.
Yes.
Be the best version of yourself, because somewhere, somehow, someday, someone is going to notice that whatever it is that you're doing, you're putting your all into it. Yes. And that indicates that you're a trustworthy person, that whatever else is going to come your way, you're going to embrace it with an equal amount of passion.
Yes. It's very important, because when you give your best in anything, you never know who's watching you. So always give your best. Don't look at it as, but I'm just doing it for a living. Don't do it for a living. Give it the best of you and watch the universe and God giving you, because God is able. God watches you in what you are doing, and serve and giving it your best, because in your heart, in your mind, you're like, this is where I'm striving to be. You could be within a company where you are just a marketing assistant and you want to be the marketing manager. But what are you doing from the bottom where you are? Are you taking the initiative? Are you taking the extra work and asking questions? Are you aligning yourself even with the marketing manager and start asking them questions? Because once they see that you're self-driven. You have a vision of where you're going, and that can open doors for you. Use where you are to the best of your ability.
Now, we're talking in the context of the corporate world. What about if you're in a very, small business, an SME, or your own little business as well? What do you do differently to bring passion to your life and to your work on a daily basis? And who is going, if you're in your own business, for example, yes, or in a small company, who is going to notice? And is that going to pay off in the end for you?
Consistency. It's very important. Be consistent. Be authentic. And it does pay off, because there is nothing that you do to giving the best of your ability that will not pay off. There is no way that you can be working within a company if you know what you want out of it and your why. I always speak of, why are you doing what you are doing? Why are you giving the way that you are giving in a job? Those things are very important. So you can grow, but it starts with you. Where do you envision yourself?
Okay, let's go for an ad break. When we come back, I want to talk about the workplace bully. How does your passion then stop that person from picking on you all the time? Let's look at school children and let's look at the unemployed. What do you and I do to create passion in them? Pandora is my guest. She's from a company called Pandora's Box. It's her own company and she is a motivational speaker. She is the type of person that goes around starting fires in your life to make you realize that you do have a purpose and you can make a meaningful difference. Stay with us.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
Sponsor an orphan and change a life today for only 1,500 rands per month or 18,000 rands per year. Contact the Al Iman Foundation on 011 211 0302.
When it comes to Sharia-compliant investments, Al Baraka Bank considers the means as important as the end. Whether you're saving toward a goal, investing in fixed deposits, or seeking investments that provide a regular income, Al Baraka provides you with an investment journey based on purity, trust, and security. Speak to us today. Al Baraka, your partner bank.
من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
My guest is the dynamic Pandora Mabai from Pandora's Box. We're talking motivation. We're talking about how do you light the fire in your life, keep it burning, and be a better version of yourself. Now, we have about between 7 to 9 million unemployed youth in the country. What do we do to get them started and keep the fire burning in their lives?
In everything that we do, I understand what we are going through right now as a country, and I think it's pushing our youth to start being innovative, to start being creators. You don't have to wait for the government to do it for you. What do you have within? What business ideas do you have? Do you believe in that business idea that you have? There are so many things, like there are so many opportunities that are out there. You need to be able, your smartphone that you have, you are able to get onto the internet. I always say to the youth, use it wisely. It's a tool that you've got. NYDA is giving so many grants and sponsorships to young youth who are looking at starting businesses. So outside of you not finding a job, what else are you doing to change your situation? Because you know the situation that you are in. What innovative idea that you have? What else can you do besides just looking for employment where you are saying, but I am not winning with getting a job? What else do you do in order for you to ensure that you have a better tomorrow for yourself? The Mandelas, they took the initiative. Take the initiative.
Let's go back to the corporate world. You're talking about people truly taking the initiative, asking questions, doing the extra, going the extra mile.
Yes.
But the workplace bully or an insecure boss is going to think that you're brown-nosing. The workplace bully is going to be hitting on you all the time because you're showing him or her up in a bad light. The boss, who's very insecure, is going to think that you're after his job, which you are, of course. And the people around you are going to accuse you of brown-nosing. How do we respond to that? How do we tackle those real situations? And it happens around us all the time.
That is something that is really, really challenging in our society right now. And we must always know that that is part of the journey of life. It's about how do you, as the light that you carry, because at the end of the day, you're carrying the light and you have a vision of where you're going. I believe that when someone is treating you bad, always communicate back in love. Always. Love is able to conquer it all. I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to look like, but they are bullying me and they're not treating me well. Bad cannot be worn with another bad. Always come with the good. Always give the best of you, because at the end of the day, whatever you do, it comes back to you. You only withdraw what you deposit. So whether they are treating you bad, do not feel threatened by them. It is not personal. It is about the light that you carry. But you need to be able to be strong and understand that, but this is not about me. It means there's something far greater in me, that I'm intimidating others. But do not lose yourself to fit in, because you are not born to fit in. You are born to stand out.
I like that. I like that very much. Let's look at Pandora Mabai. Who is she? Who motivated you? Why are you here sitting with me this morning talking about how important motivation is, and also being the CEO of your own company, Pandora's Box?
Pandora is a runaway bride.
Oh, whoa.
From a multimillionaire. That is how my journey began. And for me,
You mean literally a few days before your wedding you ran away?
Literally a month.
Literally a
month before the wedding day, I decided there's got to be more to life than where I am right now. A lot of people are getting married for the things that people have. And once you accumulate those things and you have it, you cannot close the void within with things. So for me, I was like, but I'm not a housewife. And you need to be true to yourself. I was not a woman that is born to be given an allowance and be at home. For me, I've got a purpose that I need to serve on earth before I leave the earth. And that assignment was more important to me, because I knew that I can still achieve these things. But work hard on your own to ensure that you fulfill your purpose, and it comes with sacrifice. And the sacrifice that I had to make was to say, I do not want to get married, because this is not what I want out of marriage.
What were the repercussions of being a runaway bride a month before your wedding?
I lost the house, I lost the money, I lost the cars. Those were not mine. There was a point in my life where I was homeless in this Johannesburg. But I knew that from that position, I had to work hard to ensure that the vision that I had, which is sitting with you today, comes to life. And I have to say, over the years, I have seen grace, and I am happy that I have achieved it and still going far, because it all started in my mind that yes, you can. Yes, take the risk, jump, and do what needs to be done, and watch everything unfolds.
Positive affirmations, absolutely. So you then decided to go on, find yourself, and start up your own business.
Yes.
How difficult was it to set up Pandora's Box? And apart from motivational speaking, what else do you offer to corporate clients?
It was not easy at all. There were challenges, there were stumbling blocks, but with each and every stumbling block that was there, it was actually a motivation for me to keep going. Just do what needs to be done. Keep working harder at it. And it has been a blessing because now I am able to be booked by corporate companies like Old Mutual, Liberty Groups, Proudly South Africa, to come and motivate the staff. I'm offering corporate change within the environment that people that are in corporate, the mindset, because people are coming from home with a lot of things. You don't know what your employee is going through. But when you have a motivator that's always there to say anything is possible when you believe, and you are offering change into the corporate spaces, that is where I come in, and I come in and bring the change.
What's great about a motivational session is that you are so fired up, you as the recipient, that you go, you walk out of that session believing that you can take on the world. And for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, you do in fact try and take on the world. But once, the magic wears off or something happens, sidetracks you, you become disillusioned all over again. How do you reignite the fire in you without having to go once again to another motivational session with Pandora?
I always say in sessions wherever I get in, if I'm coming and I'm speaking to you, when you go to class, you're prepared. Notepads are very important. Take notes, because what you have at that moment, it's what's going to keep you going. When you are falling off the track, you've got something to go back to without you thinking, but what did Pandora say to me? So it's important that you take the initiative, because you are working on yourself. You are working on what you want. So get into sessions. Prepare yourself when a motivational speaker is coming through. Have a notepad, have a pen, take down notes so that you can keep going back.
We have 2 minutes left to wrap up time. We're talking corporate world, we're talking careers, professions, etc. What about the women back home who don't have all of that? How can they motivate themselves to be the best versions of themselves, the best cooks, the best homemakers, the best home executives, etc., etc.?
You see, everything boils back to one thing in life: loving what you're doing. If you are a house executive, love what you do and give it the best of you. Once you have love in anything, you have conquered everything.
And live in the moment.
And live in that moment.
Okay, we're going to wrap up now. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Is Pandora married now? Or are the guys scared that she's going to run away again?
I am not yet married, but I will get married.
We sincerely hope and pray. We all want love in our lives.
Yes.
Wonderful having you here on the show this morning. Your final piece of solid golden advice to everyone watching us.
Be the change that you want to be in life. It all starts with you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being with us. May God be with you every step of the way.
Thank you. God bless.
And that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for your company. We do hope you'll join us again on Saturday when we're going to do this once again. And that is, of course, Let's Talk. A big thank you to the production team. Until the next time, as always, it is Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz from me, Julie Ali.
Ya hala, 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 حن قلبي على جمعة الخير هلا، حن قلبي على جمعة الخير هلا، يا هلا ويا هلا ويا هلا ويا هلا، يا هلا ويا هلا ويا هلا ويا هلا. من نعم الله الجبار قبس من نور المختار وبعزم كالنهر الجاري نسلك درب العلم ونعمل قبس إصلاح وإخاء علم إيمان ودعاء.
As the bitter cold bites, do you think of those who can barely survive winter?
Africa, Africa.
Many homeless and destitute need you this winter. Your sponsored blanket is sure to make a difference. Sponsor a blanket at 130 Rand or a winter warmth pack at 280 Rand. Call the Africa Muslims Agency now on 011-834-8685 or donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Remember, every family deserves warmth. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Kareem for luxury bathrooms and towels.
Orient Hotel in the heart of Fordsburg. View our recently renovated rooms and book online. orienthotel.co.za.
Honda Johannesburg South. Services from 699 rands. Visit www.hondajhb.co.za.
Leave a lasting legacy and contribute to the Al Tawheed's Waqf Fund and earn perpetual Thawabi Jariyah. Contribute to our various projects